Good morning to you and welcome to another Wine Steward video. Thank you so much for watching and for remaining involved in Pleasanton's downtown family-owned, friend-operated wine shop. There's nothing like us. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that we are unique and worthy of keeping around. So keep up your support. Thank you. Keep being great users of the product called wine, not to mention our fine cheeses and so on. The Wine Bar has a brand new menu this week, as usual, published on Monday, and just a quick description would be that all of the whites are from Italia. I just got back from there and I was still in the mood for more of the stuff I enjoyed over there. So a bunch of white wines, Fiano and Vermentino and Friulano and things maybe you haven't quite heard of yet, but I promise you, you're going to enjoy this mainly no oak white flight from Italy. The reds are from all over the place. We do that a lot. We, as I recall, have a Bordeaux, a couple of wines from California, and so on. So a nice mix of things are happening on the red side, and as usual, we have very nice wines by the glass as well. Of course, you can have any of the wines in the flight by the glass. And the sparkling wine of the week is from Vouvray. The Loire Valley of France is the home of some of the best Chenin Blanc in the world. And Vouvray is easily one of Chenin Blanc's greatest champions as far as wine regions go. And Vouvray happens in sweet form, in dry form, and also, thank goodness, in bubbly form. So check out the Vouvray Brut from Saulnier. That is our sparkling wine of the week. Very, very tasty. Now, the main theme of this video is to describe 4 products, all of which occur in bottles, that I believe are wonderful for the fall season, and in some cases, wonderful opportunities price-wise too. Here's opportunity number 1. This is made by Guaraci, who's perhaps best known for making rockin' Napa Valley Cabernets. Well, Alex Guaraci also owns a vineyard called Fern Creek Vineyard in the Mount Pisgah subregion of the Willamette Valley in Oregon. And that's where this particular Pinot Noir comes from. Many of you already know this wine because you've enjoyed buying it here, enjoying it at home, and savoring a Oregon Pinot Noir that's bigger than usual. I think a lot of people have it in their heads that most Oregon Pinot Noirs are lighter than what happens in California. But as soon as you pour this, you're gonna notice darkness. As soon as you smell it, you're gonna notice ripeness, but it remains Oregon-esque in that it's not just fruit. It's definitely deep, dark cherries, but along with it is that nice fallen leaf quality smell that an Oregon Pinot Noir can give you. And that's my link to this time of the year for this wine, in that it's fall. And the nights are longer, the days are shorter, the mornings are colder, that's for sure. Some of the days are wet and some are sunny, but they're definitely shorter and cooler days, aren't they? Putting us in the mood for wines that perhaps have a little more body to them. So this Pinot Noir, it represents a fall wine in that it's got size, it's got nice nummy-num qualities as far as being a more full-bodied Pinot Noir, ironically from Oregon, but really fits the Oregon profile of having that fallen leaf quality besides the fruit. Love that smell. I used to rake leaves as a kid, and then I would return perhaps negligently 2 weeks later to finally throw those leaves into a bin or a hefty bag. And the smell of those so-called moldering leaves, very appealing, very distinctive, and it happens here in this beautiful Pinot. Let's get to the best part. Besides the goodness of this Pinot, we were selling this for $55. We were offered a very, very good wholesale rate if we took the rest. We decided to take the rest, and now we have the burden of inventory down there, wondering if you will participate in a better price on this gorgeous Pinot Noir. It is now $39.99 regular price, and all of you beloved Wine Club members who get 10% off all of your purchasing here, get it for $35.99. A wine formerly $55, and you were loving it for that price. Well, let's improve on that. Come on in, get some Guaraci Pinot Noir. Nice fall Pinot Noir. Have it with salmon, have it with pork roast. This wine can handle maybe even a steak because it's got the body. So check it out, Guaraci Pinot Noir. How about another fall wine that happens to be white? Let's take us to Bordeaux, Bordeaux, France. Bordeaux, perhaps one of the most famous wine regions in the world. We just covered it as a tasting event up here on the mezzanine for you lucky 40 people who RSVP'd to taste Bordeaux with us. You enjoyed this Pinot. I know you did because you bought some. Well, a lot of you couldn't make it to that event. I want you to know about Lion de Sudireau. Sudireau is actually most famous as a producer of Sauterne. They are, in fact, in the Sauterne region, sub-region of Grave, and that's where, in fact, some of the most amazing dessert wines in the world happen. And Sauterne is right next to the most famous property there called Chateau de Chem. So next door neighbors to a Chem, and costing quite a bit less is their dessert wine, which I do have downstairs right now. The 2013 Sudireau Sauterne is available to you, but this is a dry wine made of the same grapes by that same producer. Lion de Sudireau is going to be made of Semillon, just like Sauterne is, along with some Sauvignon Blanc, and I believe Muscadel or Sauvignon Gris. I don't mind the reading glasses again. But there's often a third component of a so-called Bordeaux Blanc, and in this case, it is Sauvignon Gris. So Semillon really runs the show here in that Semillon's known for having a little more richness, lower acidity than its partner in Bordeaux, Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc provides the zing to this wine, but you get more comfiness from the fact that over half of it is comprised of Semillon. And so that makes it a fall white wine, in that I wouldn't really think about sipping this on a hot summer day. I am now in the mood, and you may be in the mood to make some squash or pumpkin soup and put this right alongside. I think I've already mentioned pork roast. I'm in the mood for that this time of the year, but pork roast would also be lovely with this. White meats, this white wine can stand up to those. And creamy cheeses and dishes with white cream sauces. Creamy sauces would be just a wonderful mate. Because of the mouthfeel going on here, it's a nice match for those foods that have just a little more body and richness in and of themselves. So check out this beautiful white Bordeaux. It is classy stuff. And by the way, Chateau de Chem, right next door, does make a dry wine too. It's called Y, or E for Echem. And it costs over $200 a bottle. This does not. This is $29.99 for a very elegant, stately Bordeaux Blanc. And it is $26.99 for you beloved wine club members. Boom. A nice fall white wine. Let's now tell you about a really nice red wine from Tuscany, where I just spent a long week, and it was too short. This is a wine that many of you know because we carry it absolutely every year they make it. Castello di Bossi does not make this Reserva wine every year. The year has to be good. It has to be a good vintage to justify the making of what most of us know as their best wine. 100% Sangiovese Chianti Classico Reserva Castello di Bossi. This is to let you know that this very elegant wine is back on the shelf. This is also to let you know this is not the wine I wanted to tell you about, because you already know about this, at least most of you do. What I didn't know about until I visited this winery near Berardenga, the village of Berardenga in southern Chianti Classico, what I didn't know is that they make Corbaya. Corbaya is the name of one of their oldest plots of vines, and you could call this a Super Tuscan. Now, what is a Super Tuscan? It's a red wine from Tuscany that kind of breaks the rules in that it doesn't have enough Sangiovese in it, or it doesn't have any at all, and so you can't call it Chianti. You can't really give it an official name, so this unofficial term Super Tuscan is applied to these blends that often employ Bordeaux varieties, often have no Sangiovese in them whatsoever, and yet they are delicious. They are, to me, valid Italian wines in as much as they are using French varieties because they taste and feel Italian. If a Super Tuscan still has that more concise Italian feel, I say it's a valid Italian wine. This is an exception to everything I've been saying in that it actually has 70% Sangiovese in it, and then 30% Cabernet Sauvignon is the foreign invader. They both grow in this oldest plot of Castello di Bossi's called Corbaya, hence the name of the wine. This is a beautiful Super Tuscan that I feel a little more, I feel it's a more valid Super Tuscan in that it is mainly Sangiovese. the greatest grape of Tuscany. And so you've got more body because of the Cabernet, but you've still got that beautiful Sangiovese flavor that you would be enjoying from this 100% Sangiovese, down a rung in price. This is to say that we just got in 18 bottles of Corbaia, whereas the high end is not selling all that well. This is not too high end. This is a wine I think many of you would be enjoying this weekend. And once again, why is it a fall wine? Because it's got a little more oomph. Where you might enjoy this in the summertime, I can enjoy this all year long. It's more medium-bodied, this is more full-bodied because of the old vines and Sangiovese being coupled with Cabernet Sauvignon. Corbaia from Castello di Bossi, a beautiful red wine that I got to savor over there, and I was very happy to hear that it was available over here upon my return. We're gonna tell you about one more product. I said I was gonna tell you about 4 bottled products. And I didn't say wine, did I? That's because the final wine, this funny looking label, is Hogworth, whatchamacallit. It's, as you can see, it's a brown spirit, so it's not one of my gins for once. This is something I talked up last winter, and we had brought it aboard. We've carried it ever since, but maybe we were in the mood to drink this during the summer, but now it is time to have maybe one big piece of ice or to drink it entirely neat. This is lovely stuff that I keep calling it stuff because I can't call it bourbon, I can't call it cognac or Armagnac, I can't call it rye, because it's actually a unique blend made by the former owner and maker of Whistle Pig. So people who really follow their bourbons know about Whistle Pig. That gentleman made it big with Whistle Pig and sold the brand and couldn't leave well enough alone. He had to get back into the pig label business and make Hogsworth. Hogsworth is a unique blend of bourbon and Armagnac. Armagnac is the cognac alternative or counterpart that grows south of Bordeaux. Cognac, of course, grows north of Bordeaux in France, and Armagnac is made in the southern part of Western France. And it's very cool to combine those two. I thought, that's weird, and then I tasted it, and this is a mellowed out drink, I think because of the combo. Some of the product in here is actually from 1982, Armagnac from 1982. All the components are described on the back. There's 2 different batches of bourbon and 3, I can still read that without the glasses, different years of Armagnac. And what a beautiful fusion product this is, something for which I'm now back in the mood because the weather's cooler, the nights are longer and darker, and I think whether you have a bourbon fan or an Armagnac fan, they both really say, what? When they hear about this combination, and then when they smell and taste it, they're gonna say, that makes sense. And I think it makes sense because of the Whistle Pig dude being in charge of this blending. So check out all of these fall products. Come and see us at the wine bar. Come and see us on the sales floor. Yes, we still call it a sales floor. And thank you for all you're doing here at the Wine Steward. We are putting together some fun events. I think Nickel and Nickel is sold out. That's this Sunday. But I am working on Burgundy, and you'll see some other things coming up. So thank you once again for everything you do with us at the Wine Steward. We love you.